Hi, everyone. This is Jeff with Pie of Genius. I'm on day 24 of 25 Days of Essentialism, and I thought it would be fun to kind of step aside from what I've been doing and actually do an interview with someone who's been reading the book and let them kind of share the insights they've gotten from it, maybe some actions they've taken, just kind of hear what they have to say. And so today I have Kristen Douglas-Seitz, who's a bronze artist, and she's been enjoying the book. I think she's still going through it. Are you done with the book yet?
Not done with you yet.
Not quite, but yeah, she started and kind of getting into it. And so we get to hear from her today. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Yes, no problem. So what are some of the insights or insight that you've gotten from beginning to read the book Essentialism?
Sure. So I've really been enjoying this book. For me, being an artist, it's always exciting and hard to be your own boss. And so in the book, they talk about less is more. And for me, I always think it's fun to add a lot to my plate. I love the act of doing things and accomplishing projects and seeing my creations come to fruition. But one thing that kind of struck me was that essentialism is a habit and a way of being. And I really thought about that and being on my little hamster wheel daily with everything I've got going on. And I kind of thought about not mistaking movement for achievement. And it got me thinking about the less is more. It's like weeding a garden. So I love being out in my garden. The book talks about, weeding out the clothes in your closet. But for me, when I go out on my front porch and I'm playing around with my flowers, that's my happy place. So I've got this beautiful, gorgeous, giant pot of flowers, and it's hanging in the sun. It's got the prime spot on the porch. I water and fertilize it daily. I trim all of the dead things off of there, and the blooms are just magnanimous. Everybody compliments it. I love seeing it. In contrast, there's a pot below it from last year. It's in the shade. I don't really water it. Might get a few splashes from the fertilizer when the top one drains. A few things are growing. It's like kind of scraggly. And I can totally see where my efforts have paid off in the big pot. I go out there and I enjoy it every single day. And so, lots of things will grow because of our efforts. And, but do the vital few get a chance to expand to their full potential? And I keep thinking about those flowers. How are my flowers going to bloom when they're getting choked out by the weeds? How does that translate to my efforts in my art business? I can be doing multiple projects at one time, but can I finish one great one by my deadline? And so when I'm thinking about nurturing and fertilizing, am I doing that for the flowers as well as the weeds? And so how can I, like a camera lens, not to be cheesy, but how can I focus in on a few select things that really matter, are going to make the highest possible contribution towards my goal? And every day you just have, everybody has a set amount of hours in the day. And our time, energy, desire, and attention is put in that constraint. And so while you can think that you can do so many things in a day, you really just have those things to work with. And so, I think about my 2 flower pots and how can I pick one thing to focus on, or a few. And as I was talking with Jeff earlier, I started journaling and I would write down one short-term goal and one long-term goal. So those things that I have a lot of things that matter to me that I want to accomplish. And it doesn't mean that I can't accomplish them, but what can I do right here, right now, that's going to make the biggest payoff for me? And what's a long-term goal so that I can still give those other things credit and not sweep them under the rug so that I can address them later, because they do matter. So trimming out the things that make me feel overwhelmed has been a huge action that I'm currently taking as I'm going through this book and reading it, and just discerning what is important and what's not. And just asking myself, does this serve me and my purpose? And that's been really helpful.
Yeah, that's good. What you water grows.
Yeah.
Right, what you put your focus on matters. Yeah, that's been cool. And so you're an artist. Would you recommend this book, Essentialism, to a fellow artist, and why?
I would definitely recommend this book to a fellow artist, because as creatives, being our own boss can be really challenging sometimes. And so when you wake up in the morning and you're having to put your boss hat on, first thing, it's, even the more I'm reading about essentialism, it's vital to discern what is important. And if you're not having that conversation with yourself habitually, then others make that decision for you. You have to make that. And the only way I'm finding that this works is that it becomes a habit that you continually build. It's not just one thing that you do and check off your list.
Yeah, it definitely is a habit. I'm learning that, at least for me, it's been easy to like try something once, but making it a habit and making it kind of just who you are, who you be as you go is a, it's more challenging, right? As I've read through the book, same kind of thing. I read it, it's like, oh, that's really good. And then I try it, but it really has not, a lot of things have not become a habit yet. But making them a habit is where the magic and the power really come from. Yeah, I can totally resonate with what you're saying. Well, thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you being on the podcast and just kind of sharing your journey as you're going through it, and what you're learning and how you're going to apply it to your art and all the rest of that. So thank you. And for all the rest of you, you can put in the show notes kind of what you're getting from it, your insights. Would you recommend it to somebody and why? So until tomorrow, this is Jeff with Pie of Genius and Kristen. What's the name of your business, in case anyone wants to see your art or your website or whatever?
Yes, thank you. My pleasure. Thepaintedfeather.com is my website.
Paintedfeather.com?
Paintedfeather.com.
So you want to see some of Kristen's work, you can go to paintedfeather.com and check that out. So until tomorrow, this is Jeff with Pie of Genius. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.